All right. So I am still doing letters to my rich self. So I'm debating starting another project and I want to do something with letters. So I love writing letters. I have received tons of letters. I started doing tons of postcards and I still think it's one of the most fun things you can do, which is letter writing and receiving them in the mail. There's like something magical about that. And in terms of a business, most things you're going to have to ship unless you're doing a digital project. And I didn't want to do another physical product, right? But here's the sweet medium: is digital. Yes, you don't need warehousing space. You don't need you don't need to store stuff. But the hack with the letter is going to be that you, the taxpayers, already subsidizing my shipping costs for this business because I'm using USPS. So it costs infinitely more than what I pay per postage to ship with USPS, but it's subsidized by the government and taxpayers. So boom, there's something really cool, right? So I would need to do these letters. Now, there's a few companies that are kind of doing these kind of things already. And for a long time, there's letters there's people that do this, right? Like history in letters or things of that nature. Now, I have two ways to go about it, which is one is I tackle this as just a pure business. I want it to pay my bills. I need it to do X amount of revenue a month. And, I want to hit this like target, right? Or I want to do something that I'm passionate about and that I would enjoy if I had to do it and it worked, right? So like, God forbid this works and I have to do this for a long time. Like what would be infinitely better? One is in the form of like, I do a book in the form of letters, right? So that's why I bought book letters, thebookletters.com. So I own that. That was one idea. Or second is I do letters to my rich self, which is, hey, when I was younger, I wish I had more mentors and I was smart enough to have done all this research and learned what to do with my money and not gotten car leases and not blown it on stupid things and clothes and dumb trips. Allocated a percentage to trips, allocated a percentage to saving, allocated a percentage to investing, stocks, all these really awesome things that would have got my wealth and my net worth way higher. So that's letters to my rich self, which is I want to write to you letters on how to build financial wealth, real wealth, stocks, bonds, how to diversify your investments, real estate, buying homes, your first home, using stocks to leverage that, investing in, the S&P 500, some crypto because the gains are, the returns are huge, but yes, it's very risky. So only allocate a percentage that you're willing to lose. But how to think about all of this. And here's the kicker is that you need to start fast because you're running out of time. So the best thing you can do, this is why I would love to do letters to my rich self, which is I would love to help first generation people like me who we didn't have that rich uncle, that rich family member. We were all just so used to, working really hard with our hands and physical work would get us there. And we were just scraping by, but that meant you were working hard and that was good. And it's like, it's amazing. But also, if we had a rich uncle, he would have told us, hey, put your money to work. And actually you can make more money doing stocks. And it's actually not that much work. You just do it once and you go to sleep and it's making money for you. So that's a huge thing that I would like to help Hispanic, especially being Mexican. And I had family, even my parents, they came from working really hard. Like I asked my mom, hey, when you were here, you were working in a lonchera, which is a food truck, and she was getting paid, still a lot of money. Like I think it was like $100 or $200 a day, which to her, it was like, whoa, I'm getting paid so much. And I was telling her, why didn't you ever think to, own that or buy your own and then go do it? She was like, it just never occurred to me. My dad did start his own business, but even he didn't think to like, I should put my money into stocks, into the market. Let's buy houses. Let's rent them. Then when they decided to buy two homes, they unfortunately bought it right 2008 and the housing crash happened and they lost them. And luckily they were able to save one. And now I help them, list on Airbnb and now it's a rental for them and it brings them income. And now they're looking to, travel abroad to not have to live in the US and that house is going to fund that. So it's just being smart with your money and knowing all the cool things to do. And the coolest part is when you see someone that looks like you, it makes it a lot easier. I don't think anyone in the financial space is speaking directly to, anyone that's like Hispanic or Latino or thinking about us in the way they should be thinking about us. It's hard to reach us. We don't believe in a lot of that stuff, right? And a lot of us, our family members aren't putting their money in the bank. And we're now being fed to go on these crazy trips and live these crazy lifestyles and that we can't afford homes, and it's not true. And for all of our nephews, nieces, brothers and sisters that are Hispanic and are growing up and seeing our culture, which is just, there is beauty in our culture, but a lot of it is alcohol, drinking, parties, fiestas, quinceañera, like these kind of things where we could use those also as excuses for investing. And that's what part of my letter series is to make sure that our next generation, our kids, right, have these financial literacy so that they can go to the school that they want, buy a house, not have to rent for the rest of their lives. And sometimes it does make sense to rent. But for the most part, if you buy your home and you own it and you own your car, life gets so much easier. And then you just need like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. And I mean, you're living the dream, and you're living in Los Angeles. You don't have to leave if you don't want to. So that's my goal. Eventually, I would love to turn that into an app called Futuro, which allows you to gift money in the form of adding those funds into anyone's investment account, and then that buys them stock. So like, I always think of all my cousins at all of our fiestas, quinceañero, bautizo, all these excuses where I just gift somebody money. I'd love to gift them stocks or gift them money that has to go into a trading platform so that they're building compound interest, right? And that's making them money. And when they're 21, 25, they can pull it out tax-free for their first down payment on a home. That's my dream. That's what I would love to do with this channel. And so that's why I'm infinitely more excited about building Letters to My Rich Self. It's not going to be a business that probably works immediately, but it's okay because I do have my normal day-to-day job. I have my business and it's running. And so I work from that. Everybody's same grind, like 8 to like 5 p.m. I'm working on that. And then this is my 9 to 5. It's just, here's a fun project that I'm trying, let's just see how far I can take it, right? And with that is I do want to get a guest for every letter that I send out. So I want to interview somebody super cool and super fascinating and, get them to give us advice. Like, what advice are you giving your kid? You're a millionaire, you're a multimillionaire, you're a billionaire. Maybe it's like, what's the advice you're giving to your kids? Because yes, a lot of it is wealth, but so much of wealth building that no one talks about, and it's what I want to talk about, is emotional IQ, EQ. It's being emotionally stable. Like one lashing out, one wrong decision because you were just emotionally frustrated can end your career, can end a relationship, can end an opportunity. So it's just being composed, never letting the emotions get the best of you, being very thoughtful with your actions and sitting on things, and sometimes play things out over an extended period of time because, in one day you're annoyed, in 2 days it doesn't really move the needle, in three days you go, this is stupid, it doesn't even matter. Being composed, being smart about your actions, that's cool. Not lashing out and throwing a tantrum or just treating people in a different way or in a bad way because you're upset and you couldn't handle your emotions. So that's a big element of my letters and why I want to interview so many of these people. It's like everyone's been asked, what would you do with your money? How do you invest? How do I start a business? Like everyone that's asking that, you're already off to a bad start. It's just start anything. That's the best advice, is just start it, do it, and eventually you'll learn it. Actually, I'm going to make a video on this super cool topic, right? But anyways, yeah, so that's Letters to My Rich Self, and that's what I want to do. So if you want to subscribe to that and help me fund it, it's live. As soon as I get a customer, I'll make my first letter. I'm currently drafting it and trying to make it really good, but that would obviously inspire me to really get it going. But yeah, feel free to start it. So this is I believe now I'm like day 5 of Letters to My Rich Self, my series. This is me building this business in public. And my third idea for letters is I'm signed up to a museum tour and exhibit about Jane Austen, and that's to see, she wrote a lot of letters, so I could also launch a business based on the way she wrote her letters, which is super cool. Jane Austen's a really famous writer. And then my other idea, which I just bought a book, is Rockefeller did a bunch of letters to his son, and turns out there's a lot of those that have great advice and wealth, and there's an actual version that's tied to archived letters in the family's like foundation and museum. And then there's this book that's like all over the news right now, and it's doing crazy hot on Amazon, but the publisher's denying, they don't know who it is that actually wrote it. Amazon said, hey, we don't know, it's just we allow anyone to put up the proper documentation, they can sell the book however they'd like. And so no one's taking responsibility for this book, which they can't tie it to any direct letters, so they're saying it might just be inspired from letters. But the advice looks so cool and so good, and all the reviews are like raving and it's amazing. So I thought, okay, no one's claiming it. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to turn them into letters, and I will do this as a service, which is get these awesome letters from Rockefeller to his son and learn these amazing, cool advice. It's also not just about business. It's about how to think, psychology, how to interact with others. And I think that's a cool one to launch and practice with Facebook ads and just get it out there and see what happens, right? So that's the other one that I'm going to try. That book comes tomorrow. So I'll talk about that tomorrow on my daily like little vlog. So yeah, that's it. I'm in my office in LA, and that's day 5.